Alright, today on Vast Motorsports, we're going to be changing the oil in a Mercruiser inboard. Same on pretty much all of them, it doesn't matter. But we're working on a 5.0 305 today. What I did was, this is actually the first time of the season. I just fired it right up, started up perfectly fine. Because that's a good engine, good carburetor. Thank you, Lord, everything sounds good. I'm just letting it run for a few seconds or a minute to get the oil loosened up a little. Now, you would definitely want your muffs on the back on the outdrive with water pumping to keep the engine cool and to keep your impeller lubricated. I actually have the outdrive off right now, so I don't have the water coming through. I'm not going to let the engine get hot enough to hurt anything. It was just more or less, like I said, running it for a minute just to get everything flowing. Get everything flowing and pumping, and that way, when I change the fuel filter, do the oil change, go to restart it and check it for leaks, then I'll know if it didn't start, something was wrong because it ran before I did the change. And so everything sounds good. There's no ticking, no knocking, no noises. Everything fires right up. So that's where we want to start. Now the next thing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the dipstick out right here. And I have one of these Mighty Vac systems. And what I do is I have a hose here. And this rubber boot will fit right over the end of the dipstick housing when the dipstick's out of the way. It slips over this, and these dipstick tubes are designed to go all the way into the bottom of the pan to allow you to suck the oil out for an oil change. So I'm going to get this set up over here. I got my little tray in case anything leaks. And let me get this set up real quick. While you're doing the pumping of your oil extracting, go ahead and undo your oil cap. That way the engine can breathe. It creates less of a fighting, for when this is sucking the oil in, and it's draining it now. I'm going to go ahead and do the water separator filter while I'm at it. I've got the wrench here to fit it, oil filter wrench. The filter is right under here, so I'm going to have to put the phone down and reach under here. All you do is stick the wrench on it. Make sure you're going the right direction. It's going to be counterclock because it's going down. Reach down and unscrew it with your hand. After you break it loose, keep it nice and level because it is full of fuel, and when you bring it out, then you can dispose of it properly. If you want, you can fill this up with fuel, but it's not a necessity. It will fill itself. That was another reason I wanted to go ahead and start the engine first. Carburetor bowl is full of fuel, and that way, once I do the oil change, I can go ahead and start it back up again and check for leaks. Okay, the extractor is finished pulling the oil out, and I went ahead and changed the fuel filter while it was pulling the oil out, and that's the orange fram that's down there. And sometimes you got to get a little creative with, depending on the boat, where you take it in and out. Some are wide open. This one's down in the hole pretty deep. I had to reach all the way through and reach around to it. Thank goodness. It only took a little bit to break it loose, and then I could undo it by hand. So when I put it back on, the same thing. All you do is run it up real loose until it touches, makes contact, and then just give it a little, maybe a quarter of a turn. Now I'm going to jump on the other side and get the oil filter. Okay, so I'm on the port side of the motor. All small block Chevys are the same way, and the V6s, unless they have a remote filter up top here, remote access. But that's the sending unit, and the filter is directly behind it. It's hard to see it because it's black, but that's it. And I'm not really going to be able to video this. There's not much room to work. There's really no way to do this nicely. It's going to make a mess in this particular boat. There's no way to really get anything on it. I'm going to reach in there with the my wrench. I'm going to break the filter loose, and I'm going to grab a bag and stick the bag on it and unscrew it. Now some is still, like I said, going to get into the bilge, But I was planning on cleaning this bilge with Purple Power anyway, because it does have oily residue and stuff down in there. So once that's done, I get the new filter on, get her started, check for the leaks, all that good stuff. I will be cleaning the bilge anyway. Okay, so I went ahead and put the filter on. I did pour some oil in the filter, but I didn't fill it all the way up. That's a preference if you want. You don't have to put anything in it, or you can fill it all the way. Definitely take a little oil on your finger and just go around the rubber seal that's on it. Make sure the oil filter you took off, the seal is still on top of the oil filter and it's not stuck to the adapter that's on the back of the motor there. Because if you got double O-rings, it will definitely spring a leak. You don't want that. So anyway, I went ahead and poured some in it because you have to tilt the filter to get it in on this boat. This is pretty tight in here. So anyway, next we're going to go ahead and just take the filter. I am running 2540 4-stroke Marine. That's the premium blend. That's what you want in your Mercruisers, whether it's Quicksilver or Bass Pro or whoever you use. Stick with that 2540. It's good for the high RPMs and warm temperatures that the boat is going to see. So pretty much, let's just start pouring it in. That's 4 quarts. This motor holds 5. I got another jug over there, so I can top it off. Okay, I went ahead and put that gallon in. I'm going to have to top it off a little to get it right. I just wanted to show you on the dipstick here real quick. You have your add and OK in this range here, the crosshatch area. So we want to be on that top line. As long as you're in this area, you're safe, but you always want to get it up to the top there. So what I'm going to do is, the dipstick tube still has a little residue in it because the way we extracted. I'm going to take that oil and pour about a half a quart in. That'll be 4.5 total. I'm going to go ahead and stick my oil cap on and fire her up and let it run for a couple seconds. Get everything pumped through the system. We'll allow it to all settle down after we turn it off, and then we'll come back in a couple minutes and check it with the dipstick. Alright, she fired right back up. I'm kind of looking at the moment for any leaks. Definitely want to check the oil filter. Looks good there. I can see it. You can't really see it on camera. And I want to make sure on that fuel filter, water separator fuel filter, and everything is good and dry there. Okay. Good on the oil pressure. Alright, so that's good. We're going to let her sit for a few minutes, and then I'll come back and check the level with the dipstick. Okay, so I was able to check, and she is right on. Sorry it won't focus, but it's right on. Good to go on the oil. And that's pretty much it for oil and filter change and the water separator. So if you like what you've seen here today, how about give me a thumbs up and maybe subscribe to the channel. You can check out some of the other videos. I'm going to have a whole nother video on the outdrive assembly, doing the bellows and the impeller in the Mercruiser outdrive. I'm also going to have to go in here and undo these risers because one of the exhaust flaps that are in there, the rubber flaps, I don't know which side, but one of them blew apart, and when I took the outdrive off, it was stuck in the exhaust ports. So we're going to be doing that. That'll be in that outdrive video. But also, this is the boat that I did all the custom interior on. This is all my design and my custom interior. I do diamond tuck and stuff, and I did the flooring, did a custom top, and pretty much finished all the way even into the cabin area here. I just really wanted to go over the top for my brother Robbie. It's got an amazing sound system in it. It's got 8 speakers all the way around it, 6.5s and 8s here. There's actually an enclosure behind these, 2 amps in there. Got a 12-inch sub hiding down here. It does have an enclosure behind the wall there. And under the seat here, under the back-to-backs, that's a custom sub box that I made. I took the old plastic thing out and built a complete sub box with a down-firing sub. 12-inch to match that. But anyway, that's the end of this video. So thanks for hanging around. Y'all have a blessed day.